Good evening and welcome to basketball action tonight. Baloncesto Superior Nacional action as Cariduros de Fajardo visits Grises de Humacao. My name is Lee Hall, filling in for our good friend Craig Fada tonight. We are with Victor Mansour, and we are excited to bring you basketball action here tonight. Victor, interesting matchup. These two teams just played 5 days ago.
Well, good evening, Lee, and good evening, basketball fans y la fanaticada de los Grises de Humacao. It is great to be back with you all from La H on this East Coast rivalry game where Humacao really looks to keep their undefeated home streak going as they sit in the 4-0 record at home. Humacao at home has been the aggressor. They've had really strong starts, and because they've had really strong start, they've had success with it. So this consistency is something that, when they go out on the road, they can also look to improve on. Fajardo, on the other hand, Lee, they're sitting at 6-7, right behind Humacao, and they have some really strong veteran play, and this will be a tough matchup, okay? The last time they played here, like you said just a few days ago, it was Humacao pulling out the win in the end with a huge fourth quarter to come out with the win. So this is a very important game for both of these squads.
That game was just 5 days ago. Humacao winning 87-81 with a 27-15 fourth quarter. As Victor mentioned, they hit 10 threes in that game. So this team, we talk about playing better at home, 4-0 at home. They average 90 points a game at home and just 81 on the road. So that home court advantage has been crucial for Humacao so far this season.
Yes, it has, Lee. And, if we were to point out a couple of keys to tonight's matchup, keys to this game, Humacao, who is coached by the excellent Pedro Gonzalez, okay, he's got this team ready to play as we have seen it all season. This is a head-to-head matchup between both of the squads. Humacao has a very well-balanced roster. If they do that, once again, if they're able to balance things out throughout the game, they have a chance to come out with a win. And like we mentioned, they need a strong start. They need a strong start so they can play in transition all night and try to control the game in the second half. That's when they're at their best. When we talk about Humacao, we have the early one of the early MVP candidates, in my opinion. It's vital that Gabriel Belardo continues to play well. Humacao is going as far as heat takes them. He is their leading scorer. Okay, so it's also crucial that Belardo has a good game, but also that they win the rebounding battle. With Lake, with Parque Rivera, and Amigo, the fights for the rebounding battle are key. And then Fajardo, on the other hand, Lee, they've had a couple of a shaky couple of last weeks. So this is a critical game for Coach Alex Colon and their matchup. Like we said, interesting enough, Coach Colon has rotated his lineup, trying to get the best out of the first and the second unit. For example, he's come out with Guillermo Diaz coming off the bench to complement the play of Earl Clark. So independent if Guillermo Diaz starts it's a basketball game, independent if he starts as a starter or not, keep an eye on Guillermo. He's very crafty, a very creative player, and that's why he brings this 20-point game, 20 points per game average, and Humacao's got to pay attention to that.
Yeah, Fajardo has been hard to figure. They started off 4-1. They were just 1-6 since then, and 0-5 this month.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This is a competition that has such a short burst to it. We're talking about 90 days, 120 days, where you're playing 32 regular season games plus the playoffs. So when we talk about consistency, it's key. You might lose a game, you might lose a second game, but you definitely don't want to go down the route of losing 5 in a row like Fajardo did. So keeping the consistency, like we say in basketball, not going too high, not going too low is key. They sit at 6-7. So this is a tough matchup for Humacao. Just like we saw last game, Humacao had a lot of trouble scoring against this team. They had a great start, but then all of a sudden it hit the wall a little bit and were able to pull it out in the end. Let's see if they can change that game plan tonight.
Okay, well, we're just about ready to get going here, about ready to start those, to announce the starting lineups as both of these teams get ready for action here tonight.
Yeah, and if you're Humacao, you know, you're very confident playing at home, Lee. Again, 4-0, and they also had the situation where they were hit by the bacterial infection, where the whole team was out. The majority of the team was out for a couple of days. They had a few games postponed. So Humacao is a very aggressive team at home. They get up early. They play strong defense, play in transition, shoot a high percentage three. And again, they go as far as that man right there that we saw standing at the huddle with Coach Pedro Gonzalez, and he goes by the name of Gabriel Belardo. They go as far as he goes in this first half of the season.
Both of these teams trying to make a strong finish here and get into that playoff contention, as Victor mentioned. We do have the starters for both squads. For the visitors, Fajardo will be Leandro Allende, Alex Abreu, Emi Andujar, Clarence Jones, and Chris Brady for Fajardo. For Humacao, the starters will be number 1, Georgie Pacheco, along with Gabriel Belardo, as Victor mentioned, Tomas Parker, Jorge Matos, and Daniel Amigo will start for Humacao here tonight. Any thoughts on those starters, Victor?
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about this league, you know, because it is like we say, a sprint. It is a short league with a 90 to 120 days. These guys know each other, okay? They've played against each other shortly. They've watched tape enough. They've prepared. So there's not a lot of surprises, let's say, in terms of the skill sets. They do know what to expect from players, but now there's a difference between writing on the wall and watching video and getting ready and actually implementing on the court, okay? The game needs to be played, and just like last game, it was a very tough matchup. They had a lot of troubles containing the inside play of Earl Clark and Terrence Jones. So let's see if they can do that tonight and jump into an early lead.
All right, well, we are delighted to be here with you tonight, and we are underway as we get started here. Fajardo with the opening possession here. They look inside. Now the drive into the lane. The turnaround jumper for Allende is good.
Yeah, Humacao that time focused on the strong side. Fajardo was able to skip the pass into the weak side, and that allowed into a middle of the key drive and beautiful turnaround jumper.
Off the screen here with the elbow jumper, no good. Pacheco misses his first shot of the game. Go inside, and we'll have a charge call. That'll be the first foul of the game. And that will go against Terrence Jones, the 6'9", 255-pounder from Portland, Oregon.
A beautiful job there by Matos. You see, as soon as that ball was dropped into the pick and roll, in that case it was Jones, Matos made a beautiful reach, stepped into the play, sacrificed his body. And, you know, those are the type of plays that will show on the stats, but they go a long way because they show how focused you are and ready to execute on the defensive end.
Home team trying to answer here. Nice get inside. And the slam. Tomas Parker with the dunk and the nice assist there.
Yeah, that's what we call once you get into the middle of the key, the help side defense came. We throw the ball into the dunker, and Tomas Parker had no doubt about it, just threw it down.
And a nice take there by Terrence Jones. And he draws the foul. I think, did they give him the bucket?
Yeah, they're going to call that. They're going to count that bucket. So Jones will go for a three-point play here. And Jones is a tough matchup. Left-handed, crafty, able to find his way, find his shot, and that's what he did there. So definitely want to contain him. Don't allow him to get going.
Former number one of the Houston Rockets, with all 5 points so far for Fajardo. They bring it the other way with the 3-point lead in the early going. Inside to the big fella. Turnaround jumper for Brady is off the mark.
And you see, that's Gabriel Belardo at his best. At his best, Lee. You know, taking baseline, doesn't care if he's being double teamed or not. Just pull it up right in the man's face and knock it down full of confidence. Gabriel Belardo is playing this season.
He averages 18 a game. Nice drive into the lane, but no bucket there that time for any Andahar. Nice take against a couple of defenders for Humacao. Now into the lane and off the glass, no good. Here comes Fajardo the other way. Andahar takes it up strong, but doesn't finish.
Yeah, for the young ones out there, though, spin moves. We talk about learning how to change direction, and the spin move, it's too bad that he missed the layup, but he got himself open with the spin move. You're able to protect the ball. So the young ones out there, learn your spin moves. It can go a very long way.
Short little jumper that time is no good. And we've got ourselves a 1-point game. Alex Abreu into the lane, has it taken away. Humacao the other way. Timaj Parker, and a whistle and a foul out near the free throw line.
And Emmanuel Andahar there, just a smart foul, knew he was outnumbered. It was a 4-on-2 situation. See right there, he just reached in just to make sure the referee would have caught it. So smart defensive play in that foul. And then we didn't see the play there, but it seems there was a 2-point bucket here by Humacao.
Humacao with their first lead here in the early going. Shot clock at 9. And
second time lead there.
Jones.
Strong take it is. You see, he's a left-hander that likes to go to his right. Second time he does that, so we got to keep attention. We got to pay attention.
Poked away and recovered. And a bucket inside for Parker.
Nice under control move. Just finding himself down the lane. 1-2 step, nice and easy. Well done.
Allende again. Good ball movement this time. Free throw line jumper is no good. And taken away. The steal and the layup. And that's Belardo again. He's got 4.
And that's what you want to do if you're Humacao, okay? Stay solid within the ball pressure, the passing lanes, the rotations. That way you can keep, as this game goes along, keep taking the offensive flow out of Fajardo and try to play in transition.
Enough to do it on the inside that time. And the Andahar unable to finish, and a whistle now going against Fajardo.
Smart play, just saw the opening, took the man baseline. As soon as his reaches, took the ball up. So good job there by Humacao in finding. See, those are the type of reads, Lee, that happen so quick in the basketball game. But you got, as a basketball player, you got to be ready. Everybody was towards the other side of the court or above the free throw line. So as soon as he saw it, Pacheco, he just took it to the baseline. Here he is shooting 2 free throws.
Georgie Pacheco, 7% free throw, isn't it? He's 6'1", 170 pounds, out of Ponce, Puerto Rico. And he gets that one to roll.
And you mentioned Ponce, you know, in Puerto Rico, just a Puerto Rican league. People love basketball in Puerto Rico. It's like a religion. So you see here, the El BCN just been, this league is a very legendary league. It's been around for so long, and I'm so happy to see them out here at such a high-level league.
Steal and a break and a dunk at the other end. Great defense that time by Parker. He's got 6. And the 3 is good.
Yeah, Terrence Jones, he's got that ability. He can put the ball on the ground or he can take the shot. So on that pick and roll, you might not want to double the dribbler, but rather stay home with Jones because he can hurt you with the outside shot.
And a friendly roll on the inside for Daquan Lake, his first points of the game. Three-point lead now for Humacao. Doing a strong take to the bucket. That's Terrence Jones again.
Yeah, we knew he was going to come out aggressive. He's got a lot of game in his bag, and we're seeing it come out here in this first quarter.
Coming off a 20.7 rebound performance in their last outing. Bayardo fouled out near the top of the key. He'll get a rest. Just a little over 3 minutes to go here, first quarter. Good ball game so far. In the lane, no good. Bounces no good for Pacheco.
See, they go right into that pick and roll, try to get a mismatch for Jones, and they do. Let's see if Humacao might trap here.
Jones goes to work, gets bumped, kicks it outside. Baseline 3 is good.
So Humacao, Lee, has got to do something with Jones. He's just finding his way, either scoring on the inside, to his right, to his left, shooting from the outside, finding guys open in the corner. So Jones is definitely somebody they got to zoom in right away.
Yeah, great unselfishness, that possession by Jones. Another 3. That one rattles no good.
This is another big that can shoot. Earl Clark showed it here last time they played. He's a big, but with an excellent outside touch.
There's Jones with a block. And he comes up with the loose ball. Clark with it, double team, passes out of it. Elbow jumper is off the mark.
That seemed just a little bit of flat-footed jump shot. Didn't get his legs into it, and Humacao will take it. It will take any miss that Jones has right now.
Just a little over a minute and a half to go here in the first quarter. Pacheco, strong to the root, but doesn't finish. Here comes Fajardo in transition. Mora gives it back. Now they'll look a little screen action here on the near side. Now bumping inside, kicking out for the open jumper. In and out. And a foul on the rebound.
Yeah, but you live with that. They got the ball inside to Earl Clark, know that he's dangerous, so you have got to trap, okay? Usually what you do is you want that trap to come from baseline to avoid the court pass to a wide open 3 at the 45, or you got to come with the quick rotation. So those are the little adjustments that you really have to be tuned into to not allow. Good thing that Fajardo missed, but you do not want to allow open jump shots that go from inside out.
Matos and Pacheco getting a rest here at the end of the first quarter. Strong take by Clark. And he draws a whistle. Earl Clark, I was looking forward to seeing him play all week.
Yeah, Lee, and that's why there's such a tough matchup. You see, both of their bigs with Terrence Jones and Earl Clark, they can shoot the ball from the outside. They can put the ball on the ground, play make, find open guys. So these are the, the guys that you have nightmares to play against, you know, because they open up the floor as a big and are able to play make and just make your job so much more difficult.
Earl Clark, the other #1 NBA draft pick, he was picked by the Suns back in 2006 in the first round. So Jones and Clark, a couple of first rounders on this Fajardo roster.
And again, that just speaks highly of the Puerto Rican League and how they are at this moment able to get great talent from overseas to come over and play in the league. Like we said, that has just the last couple of years really invested. You see the ownership come through. You see sponsors coming through. Even ourselves right here being able to broadcast this game to our English audience. So this is great to see the league come out this way because Puerto Rico loves basketball. It is one of the greatest places to play basketball in the world and in the Americas. Has such a strong history with Picolín Ortiz and Carlos Arroyo and Fico Lopez. So this is great to see the Puerto Rican League at this level.
Luis Rivera at the free throw line. 5'11", 165-pounder. The foul was on Ivan Gandia. Rivera sinks both free throws. Fajardo now with a 3-point lead. Final minute, first quarter. Driving off the glass, Emi Andahar averages 11 a game. He makes it a 5-point ball game. And an offensive foul. That won't be a popular call here at home.
No, it's not, but this is basketball 101. When you are being pressed full court, do not take the ball into the corners because as soon as you run out of space and try to change direction, there will be a trap coming over. So good job there by Fajardo and to pick up the turnover.
Looking to add to a 5-point lead here. Final seconds and a whistle inside. And I think that's 3 quick ones on Nathaniel Butler.
Yeah, Nathaniel Butler was trying to fight for position with Earl Clark. It happens, you know, when the ball is away, a lot of action down low. And this is a guy that you want to do your work freehand. What does that mean? You want to get a good position defensively. So he does not receive the ball in a place where he's dangerous. At that time, though, the referee probably thought that there was too much contact and the foul was called.
6'9", 227-pounder. Only 60% at the line. Last second opportunity here for Humacao. And a block shot right at the buzzer. And I think we're going to have a foul call. We do.
Yes, it will. And these are the type of fouls that give coaches gray hair. You know, the time is running out. The man is going baseline. Just challenge it. Have your hand up, but don't go too much where you're fouling and putting him at the free throw line. But Humacao will take it. Okay. And as soon as this 2 shots go, we'll speak about this first quarter, Greg. Interesting first quarter. Not a bad offensive first quarter, but definitely something that they can improve on defense. And it seems like he lost control a little bit of the ball, but the referee called it, and we'll take it.
Victor Caratini at the line. '29-year-old Puerto Rico native. They put .3 back on the clock. He splits the free throws. And that's how the first quarter will end. Victor, 22-18, the lead for the visitors from Fajardo.
Interesting first quarter lead. Fajardo had a lot of troubles containing the big guys from Fajardo, and that did not allow Humacao to play in transition, to get themselves open buckets, to get themselves the three-point shots. They were playing a lot of a half-court game because they had to inbound the ball as much, and here we have it, Humacao down 4.
All right, let's go to a break. We'll be back with second quarter action right after this.
Se puede con un préstamo personal de la Cooperativa Oriental. Ponte al día con tus metas financieras con un cómodo pago mensual que tienes hasta 90 días para hacer el primer pago. Llama al 787-418-2021. Cooperativa de Ahorro y Crédito Oriental, la alternativa de todo un pueblo.
And we are back for second quarter action. Lead ball with Victor Mansour. And this quarter statistics. Inside for Humacao.
Let's see here, Lee, if Humacao can make a couple of adjustments for the second quarter, okay? Fajardo just shooting a high percentage. They go 9 for 16 in that first quarter, 56%. Will not do it because you want to play a fast-paced game. You're playing at home. That's where Humacao is at his best. And in that first quarter, they did have troubles handling Terrence Jones, and he was able to create just way too much, and Humacao was inbounding the ball and therefore playing a half-court game.
Nathaniel Butler with that bucket for Humacao. They're making a 2-point game here. Quick shot at the other end is no good. Strong taking the lane for Earl Clark. His 4 points of the night.
Strong taking the lane, just an easy under control, in and out to fake his man like he was going middle and able to take the ball to his right, 1-2 step down the lane. If for Humacao, you might want to challenge that. Either upstairs on the verticality or actually put him on the line and make him earn it.
You got to have a strong will if you're going to try and stop Earl Clark, right? 6'9", 227. Foul at the other end.
And there you go. They make it up on this time. You see as the drive is going through, step right into the play, Ayala did. So good job by him in making the read and drawing the offensive foul.
Home team down 4 here. Averaging 90 points a game here at home. And a 3 dropped from the outside. Victor Caratini with the 3.
Yeah, the important substitutions here. Pedro Gonzalez starting to go into his second unit. Let's see if these guys can turn the switch and speed up the game a little.
One and done for Fajardo. And
I'm not sure I agree with that call, Lee. You see, Rivera actually, the defender did get too much into his body. Gandia did. I actually thought that he was the one forcing the contact, but the referee perhaps saw a push. Would have to see a replay on that, but I thought that was a blocking foul.
Turnover for Humacao. Fajardo comes the other way. Clark looking for a pass inside and a whistle on Butler. He's really piled up the fouls. I have him for 4. Tough job inside trying to guard Earl Clark.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's what you do. You know, give it your best right now. Even if you get yourself into foul trouble, other guys will come in. But it's kind of like a boxing match, right? You want to keep going at it, keep going at it. Perhaps you get Earl Clark tired, you know, fatigued. So in the end of the game, he doesn't have any legs on him because he had to battle for position throughout the entire game.
Ivan Gandia with the bucket for Fajardo. Amigo with the miss. Good work on the offensive glass that time. Will draw a foul.
You know, and that was a good decision there by Butler. Even though Lee, he got the ball open at the 3, rather than taking the 3, he decided to take a little bit closer and found Amigo open for that little baby hook. And that's okay. Sometimes people think if you're open for a 3, you got to take it. Not necessarily.
Melvin Millette at the line. Oh, Humacao gets it back to Butler. Nice give from Pacheco to Nathaniel Butler. Nate Butler with his 4th points.
Great job. Reward your team with the second effort, the second chance point on that offensive glass. And that's how you win. You win the offensive glass, you have a good chance of winning this basketball game.
It'll be ball out of bounds and stay with Fajardo. Their lead now cut to 1. The biggest lead was 5 so far. That was in the first quarter. Clark, tough shot, faraway jumper, air ball.
But a great defensive sequence there. Absolutely, a great defensive sequence. They were able to get 2 or 3 stops that ended up on a shot clock pressure with a turnaround jumper that had nothing and went air ball. But that's what you want, Fajardo. You want to get 4 or 5 of those in a sequence.
No doubt, that's the kind of shot Earl Clark, they would like Earl Clark to take if you're Humacao. Clark again, but called for the offensive foul this time as he tried to be a little bit more forceful with the basketball and get a better shot for himself, but a little too aggressive.
Too aggressive, but let's give credit to Nathaniel Butler, okay? The man is playing hard. Yeah. The man is playing already with 4 fouls, but isn't backing down an inch. So that time he was up on Earl Clark and was able to keep up with him, and Earl Clark came up with the shove. So great job by Nathaniel Butler.
The floater in the lane's no good. Biardo gets it back. Shot clock at 10. Amigo on the block. Stays with it and scores.
take him to school, my friend. Just 2 dribbles going middle, a few drop steps and spin moves. Good job pivoting down low and finishing with the baby hook. And Fajardo needs to stop the game and call timeout.
Yeah, Fajardo has let the lead get away from him. Humacao coming back here in the second quarter to take the 1-point lead, and we mentioned how good they have been at home. Victor mentioned it in the pregame. 4-0 at home, 90 points a game here, 81.5 points per game on the road.
Yeah, and we saw the adjustment here in the second quarter, Lee. They were able to stay disciplined within the one-on-one defense. We're able to start to get some rotations. So now all of a sudden your defense has some flow to it. You're getting a few stops, and rather than taking the ball out of bounds underneath the basket after a bucket, you're playing off the rebound and you're playing in transition. So good job by Humacao. Keep this momentum, especially on the main focus guys of Jones and Clark.
Yeah, Earl Clark, a couple of bad possessions in a row with the questionable shot and then the offensive foul. So the Humacao adjustments are working here early in the second quarter.
We see right there, you know, guys coming from the second unit, being able to knock down those shots. And that's going to be critical for this game. Is can you maintain the same energy level and the same skill set as your starters for the entire 40 minutes?
And we'll see how Fajardo adjusts to the adjustments now. We're banging inside. Good job by Butler that time defensively. Amigo looking to go to work in the lane again.
But that's a high percentage shot. You take that 9 out of 10 times.
Jones thought about it. Now he puts it on the floor. And a nice move by the NCAA champion from Kentucky, who's got 12 points.
Once again, going into that spin move, just able to change direction, leave his defender on the other side and finishing with his left.
Amigo again showing a lot of confidence down inside. The 6'10", 245-pounder from El Paso, Texas, with a couple of buckets now.
An Amigo who has a lot of international experiences. Oh, you mentioned the NCAA, but also playing. He does have a Mexican and Argentinian parents. Has played in international competition, and he came through to Humacao with already a few games being played. So I'm loving to see that Amigo is getting more and more comfortable every game.
That foul was first.
Yeah, committed the turnover there. Was not going to allow Fajardo to transition and just stop the play.
You mentioned in pregame Fajardo 0-5 here in the month of May. And he off the schneid, as they say here in the States. Fast moving second quarter by Yardos. Takes it strong with a hoop. Can't finish. Good defense. Goes quickly the other way Fajardo. And that's Allende.
Yeah, but a quick decision there on the other end by Belardo. You know, he's trying to get himself going. He is an aggressive player. Didn't go his way, and then Fajardo able to get into transition and make Humacao pay.
Amigo missed the shot, but taps out the miss. Another chance for Humacao. Nice move into the lane. Timaj Parker with the bucket. He got 8.
Young ones out there, learn your spin moves. It will get you open shots.
Humacao again with the defense. They force the jump ball.
Good hustle. They're getting on the ground, fighting for it. That's what you want from your team, okay? This 50-50 plays, get down there, get the possession. At least if you don't, at FIBA rules, they play by arrow possession as well. Didn't get it this time, but the next one is yours. Good defense.
Oh, Amigo with nice defense inside. Making a difference at both ends. We approach the 2-minute in the first half. And the turnover. Here's Fajardo the other way. And a foul. And we'll have free throws. That was a tough landing that time.
Tough landing indeed.
Camper.
Yeah, Camper just got hit a little bit by Parker on his legs there, but it was not a dirty play. It was just a tough challenge. And it doesn't seem like Alan Colon agrees with us, though, Lee. He might be asking for some extra curriculum penalties.
Manuel Camper, 6'6", 215-pounder. He's 22 years of age. Makes both his free throws. Back and forth game here in the second quarter. Gallardo the give, and Amigo wasn't sure what to do. He shuffles his feet and turns it over.
Yeah, that bounce pass just came a little bit too low. He grabbed it around his waist level and was just not able to get a good grip. And like you said, shuffled his feet and did commit the turnover.
He really made his presence felt here in the second quarter. For Allende, and he draws the whistle.
And you live with that. Allende is going down the lane, about to get a wide open layup. Amigo comes to challenge. It's a little bit late, perhaps got a little bit of arm. Let's see it right there. And, ooh, I'm not sure about that. It looked clean at first sight, and it looked even cleaner in the second sight. But we don't have coaches challenge at FIBA yet. So Allende will try to earn it at the line.
He's got 9 and now in double figures with 10. Fajardo playing tough here in the first half. On the road. And they're back up 3 now. Allende now with 11. Gallardo, tough shot. Fall away jumper, loose ball. Now Fajardo with it. Well, Clark, there's the spin move, Victor. The bucket and one.
Yeah, I mean, we cannot emphasize enough, there's a lot of drills out there, a lot of stuff that you can do ball handling wise, but the footwork is the one that's going to get you the right angles to find the spaces. So we've seen here in this game about 3 or 4 times. Earl Clark does a great job there, just under control, draws contact into his defender, spins off of him, and just get himself wide open for the finger roll.
A 6-0 run and a timeout called. Earl Clark, quite a player. We mentioned he's a first-round draft pick of the Suns back in 2006. 14th overall, 6 NBA seasons. He played with Kobe Bryant with the Lakers. And he is a force inside, averaging 15 points a game.
A lot of skill set. The man just knows how to play this game. He can put the ball on the ground, shoot the outside shot. It has been Terrence Jones in the beginning, and then Allende being able to keep them throughout the first 2 quarters. But Earl Clark, even though he's got the 5 points, you know he can put up numbers real quick.
Yeah, he had those 2 rocky possessions in a row, but boy, he came back strong with that move, and will be going to the line to try to complete the 3-point play here late in the second quarter. As a look at Terrence Jones, he's got 12. He was very strong in that first quarter. Allende in double figures, and there's the bucket by Clark. He had 18 points, 8 rebounds in that loss to Humacao 5 days ago.
And with a minute to go here, let's see if they go for the 2-for-1 and try to cut this lead before halftime, where they did not have a lot of offensive flow, especially Gabriel Berlado, who's been their main scorer, was not able to get some buckets, and that has hurt them a little bit.
He has 4 points all in the first quarter. Tough 3 to beat the shot clock.
So if you're Humacao, you're in bonus. Make sure you do not foul.
Final seconds here, first half. Fajardo up now by 6. That's the biggest lead of this game to this point. 3-pointer in and out. Amigo, a big rebound. Throws at the length of the floor, and that's how the first half will end. Fajardo with a 7-0 run to end that first half, and they lead it 37-31. Just when it looked like Humacao was kind of in charge, Victor, Fajardo with a run here at the end of the quarter.
Yeah, Pedro Gonzalez is going to have a couple of things here to adjust, okay? And I think it's more on the offensive side, obviously. The 31 points has not been their best first half, but adjust, come out stronger, cut into this lead, get a lead, and come out here with a win.
All right, that's the first half, 37-31. We're back after this.
Ahora se puede con un préstamo personal de la Cooperativa Oriental. Ponte al día con tus metas financieras con un cómodo pago mensual que tienes hasta 90 días para hacer el primer pago. Llama al 787-418-2021. Cooperativa de Ahorro y Crédito Oriental, la alternativa de todo un pueblo.
And we are back at halftime as Fajardo leads on the road, 37-31 over Humacao. And Victor, any more thoughts there on that first half?
Yeah, Lee, a couple of things here from the Humacao side. Obviously, the 37 points in the first half defensively is not a big problem, but they are having some issues on the offensive end. They have not been able to get in transition, have not been able to have a lot of fast break points. Actually, they only have 2 fast break points here in this first half. Also, when you don't play in transition, we don't play in the open court, a lot of times you don't get fouled. By not getting fouled, you're not shooting free throws. So they've attempted only 8 free throws here in the first half, which also translates into not having a lot of offensive rebounds in case you're just playing a half-court game. But one of the weapons that has been Humacao's greatest weapon in the, especially when they're playing at home, is that three-point shot. And because they did not have a lot of flow to it, especially with their guns, their main guys, they have not made a three in the first half, and that has hurt them a little bit. So it's a bit surprising that they're down with the only 31 points at the half. Like you mentioned, they're averaging 90 at home, but we have seen it before. They go into the locker room, come out with a few adjustments, and they're able to explode in just a short period of time. And this is what they're going to need, okay? They've had their biggest scoring run has been of 5, so they're going to need a lot more fast break points. They're definitely going to need try to get that rhythm. If it's not in transition, when you settle into playing a half-court game, to see if you can get some threes, and then that gets you going. Once you see the ball go through the hoop once or twice, it does help them. You see there are only 4 assists in the first half for Humacao. That's not going to get it done for them. So definitely feel that, once they can zoom in on defense, start playing in transition, that's going to open up some lanes, some free throw opportunities, and if the help comes, they can kick out for the 3.
Yeah, not a lot of offense for Humacao there in that first half. Gabriel Biardo with just 4 points. Kamaj Parker leading the way with 8. And on the other side, it's Terrence Jones with 12, Allende with 11, and Earl Clark with a strong second quarter there. He's got 6. So we talked before the game, Victor. You talked about keys for Humacao, and one of them was second half, and that's obviously something they need very desperately here tonight.
They do need a better second half. Okay, as we see there, they're only shooting 38% from the field. That is a point of concern, but obviously the 0 for 5 on threes is something they got to improve on, okay? When you see the volume of only 5 shots taken, you ask yourself, okay, what's going on here? And, we can look back and say, okay, these guys are now starting to get to that, almost that second quarter of the season, if you will. And then you might see guys not having as much legs or not able to find their shots that like they have in the first part of the season, because, Fajardo is prepping to stop Gabriel Belardo. They do know that he is their main leader. So they have definitely zoomed in on him, as we saw once he went baseline after he hit that shot that they trapped him. So you got to make the adjustment. It is required at this level that you continue adjusting to try to get an advantage. And I do think that if they can have a solid defense, especially on the bigs of Fajardo, get that rebound, play into a more of a transition game, that's going to get them more momentum, more flow, that hopefully is going to open up the floor for some more free throw opportunities and three-point shots.
On the flip side for Fajardo, you have to be impressed with the way they've come out here on the road after losing to Humacao just 5 days ago and playing a pretty decent first half. Not very high scoring, as we mentioned, but still aggressive and a strong finish to that first half.
Yes, it is. And Fajardo is a tough matchup, okay? When you play against a team that has bigs that have a lot of skill, they kind of break up the flow a little bit because the offensive spreads, so your defense now has to play further out. The big guys are able to make either for themselves or find the open guys. So it's very tough to play against the Terrence Jones and the Earl Clarks in the systematic way. So Fajardo did take advantage of that in the first half, okay? And it was expected. Those are two guys that have a lot of skill and, like we said, can get their buckets any day of the week.
Well, Victor, I just, from a personal standpoint, I want to thank you for working with me here tonight. Your buddy Craig Fada has taken a little bit of time off, and it's a real honor for me to be able to call this game tonight. SN and be a part of it, work with you,
Absolutely.
and then see some great basketball here so far.
Yes, it is absolutely. And not only myself, Puerto Ricans, you know, as a country, as a population, they're able to always have this kind of mentality, being welcome. And you see here, this in the Puerto Rican League. You know, it's a very professional, high-level league. They love their sport. We see here is also a Humacao and Fajardo, also a rivalry between both of the cities. So it's great to be part of. This is a league that I'm very happy that we're able to be able to broadcast this out as well. So absolutely our pleasure, because the Puerto Rican League is for real and got some really serious basketball players.
And Victor, while we have a second, we talked about the number one draft picks from the States, Earl Clark and Terrence Jones, but the local players from Puerto Rico, we have a couple of guys that were selected in the NBA draft. Ricky Sanchez has played for Humacao along the way this year. And can you just talk about the homegrown talent for Puerto Rico?
Oh yeah, Puerto Rico, and Puerto Ricans, they have absolutely been a presence in the international scenario throughout the years. You mentioned a few names there, and we can add the names of Piculín Ortiz, a couple of guys that people might know that are now playing the Puerto Rican League, as of JJ Barea and Carlos Arroyo, you know, and Ayuso. They've had so many guys come throughout the years that are just some serious ball players. When you go out either to the court or just to play pickup, you see them. People stop everything. It's almost like it's religion. So I love to see that the league has been able to bump up their level year by year and put some more commercials in terms of sponsorships. And you know, the league is just well constructed, and it can only get better. It can only get better from here.
Fantastic. Well, we're looking forward to a very competitive second quarter here, or a second half, I should say. Humacao, you've got to imagine, as they look up at the scoreboard here with just 31 points in the first half, there's going to be a little bit of maybe, I don't want to say here, but, you know, they got to feel a lot of motivation when they look up there and see that number after an entire half of basketball.
Absolutely. You know, Humacao, again, playing at home, this is something that they have to put the pressure on. You know, they definitely are a team that have been able to be 4-0, so they want to keep their undefeated season going. And let's see if the adjustments here can start working in the second half. Again, especially in being the aggressors on the defensive end to get yourself in transition, okay? It is very important that you put your momentum, especially at home. You see la fanaticada, you know, the fans that are out there, either courtside or in the stands. They're waiting for that. They're waiting for that transition, that dunk, that alley-oop, that three-point shot that just gets the juice going a little bit, and they need that. They missed that a little bit in the first half.
Sure did. Well, it looked there for a few moments like they might be on the way to that type of game, but then it didn't last very long. Not long enough, obviously, and we will hope to see that from Humacao here in the second half. Just about ready to get started here in the second half.
And that's why consistency is so important, especially at this level. You know, you want to play a high-level game as close to as you can in that 40-minute. You might have a few situations that might not go your way, but how quickly can you get back into your feet, into your ID, into the way that you play the game? And this is what Humacao is missing. They are a team that has high volume, 90 points a game on a 40-minute basketball game is high for this level. So, again, they need to see that ball go through the hoop once or twice, get this crowd into it, get a little bit more of calor, un poquito más de calentura en la cancha, a little bit more warm in the game so they can get the things that they want on the offensive end.
Well, and looking back here at our notes, the loss Thursday to San Germán, they lost a fast break battle. They're 26-12. So this is more than just a first half thing. This is kind of gone into its second game now for Humacao. Not doing a lot offensively in transition. And that's got to be a concern.
Is. Yes, it is. And again, it started by the fact that they were inbounding the ball a lot. It did not have that rebound with a quick outlet, just look up the court and find your guy for the open shot. And there's the two easiest shots in basketball are, one, an offensive rebound, okay, that you can go right back up to it, and two, a wide open layup in transition, okay? So those are the two that they got to get more of in the second half if they're going to come out here with the win.
Yeah, it all begins at the defensive end, and they will need some intensity there. Just about ready to get underway here in our second half. Lee Hall, Victor Mansour with you tonight. Again, this is our first experience with Puerto Rican basketball, Victor, and just so excited to watch it and so impressed by the talent level and the talent from both Puerto Rico and the States playing here tonight.
Yeah, definitely this league is for real. Great basketball players, super professional. So excited to see the way that it's coming. It's growing year by year, and we got more investment, more broadcasting, hopefully more sponsorship come through as it can only get better.
And right out of the locker room, Gabriel Gallardo with an aggressive move. That's his first bucket since the first quarter.
Beautiful. Way to set him up, Coach Gonzalez. Give it to him on a pick and roll at the top of the key, and he's able to find a basket in the first offensive play of the game, of the second half, and that's what you want. Get your best player into some kind of a rhythm.
That was Allende at the other end, I believe. Pacheco from the free throw line. He's got 5 points. So Humacao very aggressive offensively here. Nice pass inside, big man to big man.
Yeah, big man to big man it is, and then you gotta come quick on that rotation, Lee.
And a nice give inside to Butler. Four-point game now. Alex, a
good rotation
on the baseline, behind the back pass.
You see, but just multiple efforts that time. They stopped the ball, rotated, came out into the closeout. That's why multiple efforts on the defensive end.
Gallardo into the lane. Now kick back out for three, and it's good. There's the three you were calling for, Victor.
They need it. Inside-out play, drive the ball, get the help side to collapse, and then fight the wide-open shooter for that three.
A 1-point game. Andujar kicks, and shot clock violation against Gallardo.
Good job staying with the penetration that was going baseline, and then on the pass on a quick rotation. Again, this is how you get back into your feet. Stay solid with your defensive principles.
Humacao's come out of the locker room strong here. Gallardo, tough shot, doesn't go. Thought he might get a friendly bounce there. Nice spin move by Jones. Gets the offensive rebound. Puts it up. No good, but he'll go to the line.
Yeah, what you want to do there as a defensive player, once you see that shot go up, don't look at the ball. Rather, face the offensive player, go right into his chest and box him out. Try to get the position as much as you can in the key, so then when the ball comes off that rebound, you have a better position rather than fighting for it at the top.
Terrence Jones had just 7 points in that loss to Humacao. Misses both free throws. Amigo looking to go to work inside. The bucket and the foul. Daniel Amigo. He has looked really good inside tonight.
Yes, he did. And what happened there, Lee, we're going to see here in the replay, once he took the ball, you see, he did not commit to his pivot foot. So that allowed him to, on the shake and bake, either go to his left or to his right. He decided to go middle. So good job by not committing one of the pivot foots. That way you have both ways to go with.
Watching a drama series about the early years of the Lakers dynasty, and saw a lot of skyhooks from the actor playing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Nice to see a big man with a strong inside game again.
Yep, and that's going to be an offensive foul. Absolutely. Terrence Jones just a little bit too quick, try to get Amigo back, and you see right there just with the push-off. And good job by Amigo selling it too, but Amigo just having a great game and stepping up to the challenge against Jones so far.
Oh, and now a technical after the foul call.
Yeah, apparently there was a lot of action.
And happy. And now he's been tossed from the game. That's too bad.
That is too bad. Andujar was having a good game here. Just lost his mind when the referee called that reach in off the ball. Had a few words for the ref. Got called for the tech and then lost his mind on the second time. So Humacao is going to have a chance here to shoot 4 free throws and get the possession back. This could be a turning point. We see right here at the 6:04 mark, up by 2. Let's see how much of an influence this breakdown might have in the game.
Maintaining poise is a big part of it. You hate to see that by any player.
Yes, it is, because what happens is not only you take yourself out of the game, but you hurt your team by giving them the opportunity to shoot 4 free throws. Now, if you lost a player that has played almost 12 minutes so far, so, I mean, you got emotional control. It's okay to be frustrated at a call, okay? But you got to know that it's part of the game. There's 3 teams out there, Humacao, Fajardo, and the referee crew. Okay, so once they make a call, you got to know how to navigate that in order to keep yourself in the game, like you said.
It is a game of passion and emotion, and somehow you have to keep a cap on it. At least to a certain degree.
Absolutely, and then Humacao starting to look good in this third quarter, jumping up to an early 12-4 point differential. Let's see if they can get more of these. And the referee sees that Amigo just moving screen right there, Lee.
Amigo with 3 fouls now. And a great start for the home team, just what they needed after a 31-point first half. Shot clock at 9. Brady gets the roll.
Yeah, you talked about that friendly roll. That looked like the Kawhi Leonard shot. And we're going to have another technical foul here. Let's see what happened. We could not see it in the camera, but let's see what the call is. From my understanding, I did see a technical foul called. Let's see if they're able to focus on the ref so we can see the signals. Alan Colon having issues keeping his player under control. You know, we say a lot about this, and you want to play what we call with a hot body and a cold mind, you know. You do not want to allow those frustrations to be able to get the best out of you. You see right here, another technical foul called. Humacao is given 2 just free throws, really, out of nothing. So if you're Fajardo, keep yourself in the game and don't knock yourself out of it.
An unfortunate sequence for Fajardo here in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, because that technical foul, Lee, was called on number 55, Mr. Manuel Camper.
It's a 15-6 run since halftime for Humacao. Strong drive, but Darian Spotville loses his footing and turns it over.
That was too bad because that was a beautiful play. He got his man off the dribble, got him off the bounce, but then just lost control when he had to go up with it.
Midway through quarter number 3, Humacao has battled back for a 2-point lead. Clark gives it back, and Brady draws the whistle.
Beautiful high-low, big to big, like you mentioned. Just able to look over the top, over their shoulders, and find the cutter. So good offensive play there.
It's Chris Brady at the line, 6'10", 245. He played college ball at Monmouth. He's got 4 now. And we're tied. Fajardo gives to Amigo. Now kick out for the 3 is good. Pacheco for 3.
Beautiful executed play. Gabriel Belado off the pick and roll, able to dump it off. And then an extra pass to find Pacheco for the wide open 3.
Clark kicks it outside to Camper. That 3 by Pacheco was his 6th of the season.
A lot of time still on the shot clock.
Fajardo, shot fake, baseline jumper. And it'll be Fajardo ball.
And Gabriel does a great job pump faking. You know, we talk about the spin move. Also, young ones out there learn about the pump fake. You know, once you're able to go hard into your dribble and come into a jump stop, defenders coming at you at all speed, try to challenge that pump fake, get him off the air, and then you're going to have a lot of options after that.
Earl Clark directing traffic. Now it's Brady. His outside shot's no good. Humacao looking to add to that 3-point lead. 3-pointer is good. Jorge Matos, his second 3 of the game. They call him La Araña, the Spider.
Yeah, and that's why they do that. They absolutely need that from Matos. You know, he's a guy that can put up points. He's averaging 12.3 points a game. So great knockdown here as Humacao is starting to get into some flow. You see, we spoke about that at halftime. Great job executing for Humacao here in the third quarter.
They're making you look very, very pathetic, Victor. You knew exactly what they needed to do, and they came out and did it.
Well, Lee, you know, at this level, guys can knock down shots, right? This is no surprise because Matos, he can knock it down. So what happens is it's a matter of executing. It's a matter of playing in transition. It's a matter of flow, okay? And that's what happened there. Gabriel Velado able to get himself to the key, draw some defenders, found Matos wide open for the three-point shot, and that's the second one he's knocked it down. I beg your pardon. That's the first one he's knocked it down. The other one was by Pacheco.
Yeah, a couple of threes here in the quarter for Humacao. Matos had a three earlier in the game. And that was another thing you mentioned at halftime that they needed to do was not just transition basketball, but make some threes and get some offense going from outside.
Yeah, because what happens, Lee, you know, once you start knocking down a few threes, now the defense has got to respect you. They got to commit to you. And once they start spreading out, you see right there, Gabriel getting himself to the key. Beautiful dump to Parker Rivera with the nice finish. And here's well, as we see that first three-pointer of the game from Pacheco. But once you start knocking these threes down, now other options start open because the defense has got to put pressure on you. And Humacao goes zone here, Lee.
Give inside, and I thought maybe we might get a foul, but it's out of bounds. Fajardo. From the corner. That three's off the mark. They try to...
Yeah, but a good defensive adjustment. They went to a zone after the timeout, try to get Fajardo by surprise, and I think they did.
And Brady whistled for the reach. That's his first.
So you see, this is where those technical fouls hurt you a little bit. Now, Humacao is going to be shooting free throws throughout the remaining of this quarter. And, you know, because they piled up on the team fouls quickly based out of those technical fouls.
That was a nice shot there, Brady and Amigo talking a little bit. Brady kind of explaining himself. Amigo saying, yeah, that's fine. I know you didn't mean to do that. He's already got the mask going.
And that happens all the time. You know, guys are playing hard. You're gonna have, it's a contact sport. You're gonna have a few situations, but it's all good. You know, you got a little trash talk going on, a bit of explanation, and then you leave it on the court, and no hard feelings.
Amigo coming off a 16-point performance in the last outing against San Germán. Three, no good. Victor Caratini.
We saw Fajardo now go to the zone. So both squads with the 2-3 zone here in the third quarter trying to disrupt the offensive strategy.
Well, Clark, the mid-range jumper, the offensive rebound for Jones, and a foul on the floor.
Yeah, but good foul there at that time by Darien Spotville. As soon as Terrence Jones grabbed that rebound, he wrapped him up. He held him underneath. So good foul because they're not on bonus yet. So Fajardo has to take it in the baseline.
.231 to go here in this third quarter. That's owned by the home team, Humacao. Long range shot for Clark, no good. Pacheco trying to create something.
And he did. He had the mismatch with the big guy, and he created with that hesitation. Seemed like he was going to pull up from three and just actually went towards the basket, and there was a reach in. Let's see if Pacheco can knock these down.
Played his college ball at Liberty. The all-time winningest player at Liberty over his career. Looking to add to this 7-point lead. That's the biggest lead of the game for either team.
And you see he's got a little bit of a left setup to his free throws. He doesn't stand in the middle. He stands a little bit more towards the left. I've seen that where guys try to line up their right hand with the rim, and Pacheco, it works for him.
2 minutes to go now, third quarter. Pull-up jumper. Off the mark that time for Allende. Fajardo led by 6 at the half. They trail now by 8. Make that 10. Spotville with the bucket off the bench.
Darian Spotville, way to make your presence felt, young fella. Playing hard on defense, and that time just knocking the wide open jump shot.
Jones inside to Clark, the and one.
And that's the one you don't want to give up. The man was already near the basket. You either allow him to go or you wrap him down. You see right there, just too late to that challenge and just giving up the potential three-point play.
Clark has not been great at the line tonight, but that one goes. He's got 9 points.
Oh, that's live. That should be live. The referee did not stop. Let's see what happens here. In my understanding, this is the wrong whistle. Okay, the referees did not stop the play. Humacao was trying to see. It just pretty much gave the ball up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And finally, there was an inverted play. So, interesting call here. I thought the game was live, but Humacao will take this break.
Now, Fajardo players would certainly agree with you there. 7-point game now as we approach the 1 minute mark here in the third. Pacheco's pass taken away. Big Terrence Jones with the defense. 3-pointer, quick shot there, no good. And somehow, Daquan Lake was left all alone. Good job of recognizing him inside.
All alone indeed. Terrence Jones just did not mind playing defense on him that time. And Daquan Lake has got nothing to do with it, so he'll take it.
Another quick three is no good. Jones on the floor after the offensive board. Fajardo will get another chance here. Another quick three, and that time it went for Alex Abreu.
A lot of time here to get a shot off.
Six-point game, final seconds. Third, no good. Very good third quarter there for Humacao, and they lead it by 6 as we head into the fourth quarter. And we talked earlier about that first matchup, Victor, and how strong Humacao finished that 27-15 fourth quarter, and they are poised for a similar finish here.
A great job adjusting in that halftime like we spoke. Winning this quarter, 27-15. Let's see if they can do that again in the fourth quarter.
Back right after this.
Se puede con un préstamo personal de la Cooperativa Oriental. Ponte al día con tus metas financieras con un cómodo pago mensual que tienes hasta 90 días para hacer el primer pago. Llama al 787-418-2021. Cooperativa de Ahorro y Crédito Oriental, la alternativa de todo un pueblo.
We are back for quarter number 4 between Humacao and Fajardo, and it's Humacao with the lead here at home after a big third quarter there. (26-15). That's kind of similar to the fourth quarter the last time these two teams played.
Similar it is, and that you got to give credit to the coaches. You know, they came out with the strategy of getting the ball into Gabriel Belado at first, and then able to get some outside shooting with Matos and Pacheco. So good job adjusting things at halftime. Let's see if they can keep up here in the last 10 minutes and maintain this undefeated home season so far. Don't want to jinx it. Just want to keep things in perspective because it's a very strong, when you're doing your homework and you're winning your home games, that will put you in a good position to fight for a playoff spot.
Terrence Jones was fouled. He's at the line now. That's 13 points for him tonight. He had 20 and 7 in the last outing. 7 rebounds, that is. He's got 14. It's back to a 4-point game. Quan Lake unable to hang on to it inside, and now a whistle out near midcourt will go against Pacheco.
Yeah, smart foul there by Pacheco. Knew that Fajardo would have numbers, so just make sure they stop and reset for the defense possession.
Parker returns for Humacao.
Yeah, exactly. Bring in Parker to see if they can put a little bit more of a presence down low with the Fajardo bigs.
Oh, nice move, but unable to finish there. Nice pass out to Pacheco for 3. He doesn't get the bucket, but he gets the whistle, and he'll go to the line to shoot 3.
Yeah, this is one of them things that you learn early on in basketball camps and practices. You want to challenge every shot, but you do not want to foul, okay? We know that Pacheco is a great shooter, but at the same time, when someone is shooting a three-point shot, there's a less than 50% chance if it's going to go in. Do your due diligence, get there, but don't put him on the line. As we see there, Lee, you see how he winds up a little bit more towards his left. He's not centered at the free throw. I've seen guys do this before, but interesting enough to see it again.
Whatever works, right? I'm interested in that dribble that he makes there out to the side of his body. There's one in front, there's two in front, and then there's one off to the side, and now the spin. It's all about routine. And he makes them all. 11 points now for Pacheco.
Let's see if Humacao can build on here with a 7-point lead. The next 3 to 4 minutes are going to be vital. And if they can build into a double-digit lead, they can put themselves in a good position. But they got to take care of this man right there.
Lane. Yep. Terrence Jones as a tough guy to try and take care of down low. 6'9",
yes,
255.
At that strength, that basketball IQ, able to get himself into good position. He is a very good basketball player.
Splits the free throws. 6-point game here. Pacheco gives inside. Now Parker gives it back. Corner shot's no good. Jones with the shot fake and draws the whistle.
Yeah, that time, what you want to do if you're Daquan Lake, you don't want to foul Terrence Jones. He has not hit a 3-point shot yet, so stay disciplined, stay down, and don't come in too close where Jones just easily got him off balance and drew the foul.
Daniel Amigo coming back in for Humacao. Jones will take the three this time. And if I'm Humacao, I'm willing to give him that shot. Fajardo, follow jumper, no good. Good hustle by Amigo, but Fajardo comes away with it. Nice job of moving the ball around, and it'll be a whistle on Parker.
Yeah, you see there, number 7, Maura Colon, just found his way into the key, into Humacao Avenue, and just dropped it off into the big fella coming through. So good job there by number 7, Maura Colon. That's what you want to do as a point guard. You want to pretend like you're going towards the hoop, draw the attention, and just drop it off into the trailer, into the slasher that's coming through, and is going to play the vertical game.
Hard night for Orlando. He's got 13 points now, 14 in this ball game.
Yeah, and Allende is a very efficient basketball player. He's got the 13 points to go along with 1 3-pointer, as well as 5 rebounds and 4 assists and a steal. So you can see why this young man right here has got himself try to put his team in a position the last couple of minutes to fight for this ball game. And as we can see here, Lee, Fajardo extending full court to try to speed up the game and take Humacao off their rhythm.
Their lead now down to 4. Looking to kind of gut one out here tonight. And not their best offensive performance that we've seen. Jorge Matos now with 8.
Oh, that's a push-off.
Clark double team, loses the basketball. Seven minutes to play. What a nice little touch shot there by Amigo. Just kind of pushed it at the basket and scores. He's now in double digits with 10, and a timeout on the floor.
Yeah, and that push shot is right, Lee. You know, we used to learn it, you know, for you to take a 1-2 stop, go up into a pull-up jumper. And then we saw the Tony Parkers of the world, you know, just guys just getting down the lane. And just with that quick release, a little push shot, And that's exactly what Amigo is really good at. He's able to get himself a quick shot by just rather than lining up for that full complete extension like it would look like a jump shot. He just quickly pushes it off with one hand and is able to what we call big man killer, because a big man can't get to it. It is a quick release.
Fourth-year pro, played his college ball at Denver. He's now in double digits with 10. And it's an 8-point game here.
8-point game, critical moment of the game with a little bit under 7 minutes to go, like you said. Can you, if you're Humacao, can you play the next 3 minutes as it was the last 3 minutes of the game? What does that mean? They're going to have about 4 or 5 possessions each. If you have an 8-point lead and you can get a couple of stops, a couple of buckets, all of a sudden you go up 12, 14, and then you walk out of here with the win.
And we mentioned how much they score here at home, 90 points a game. They're going to be well below that tonight, Victor. But, you know, you talk about this all the time in athletics. The good teams, the good players win. Good pitchers in baseball, for instance, they win when they don't have their best stuff, quote unquote. And that's what Humacao is looking to do here tonight.
Absolutely, and you're gonna get nights like this. Everybody will, not just Humacao. Okay, so can you grind it out? Can you able to adjust and walk out with the win? And talk about adjustment. Good adjustment here by Pedro Gonzalez, going full court with that 1-2-2. Again, try to break the flow out, and they go back into a 2-3.
Earl Clark gives to Jones for the jam.
That's tough. Oral Clark
17.
just playmaking. Got everybody up in the air and just found Terrence Jones, like you mentioned, for the dunk.
Yeah. Oral Clark playing a little point guard there. Here's the takeaway and the jam for Jones. So a little defense. Terrence Jones now with 19.
We spoke about, can you play the next 3 minutes like it was the end of the game? And that's exactly what Fajardo is doing, try to chip it back into this lead and putting themselves in the position once again. So good job by Lee. Good job here by Coach Pedro Gonzalez. Stop the game, calm things down. The last 2 possessions did not go your way. Let's huddle for a second. Let's draw what the next play is, so we can be efficient.
Fajardo refusing to go away in this one, trailing just now by 4. Looking to avenge the loss just 5 days ago. Humacao winning that one again, 87-81. They hit 10 threes in that one. I only count 3 made threes in this ball game for Humacao.
Yeah, Humacao has had their struggles with the three-point shot, and you see once they start falling through how much that opens up the game for them. So we've seen Jorge Matos being able to get some flow here recently. We've seen Pacheco as well having a good second half. So can those 2 guys add to Belardo and a couple of buckets to get, like we said, a grindy win that they so much needed?
Humacao breaking the pressure by Fajardo that time. Shot clock at 10. We approach the 6-minute mark. 3 on the shot clock. Amigo doesn't get the roll.
Very important defensive possession.
Fajardo can make it a 1-point game with a long ball. Jones, a tough shot, tough take. He was just trying to get the whistle, and he did.
Yeah, and that's a good draw play there. They're able to get the action to the right side and dump the ball to Jones going to his left, you see. So he had a one-on-one situation against Amigo, and Amigo and Belardo had to collapse, and the foul happened. But good draw play to get the traffic out of the way and open the left-hand dribble for Terrence Jones.
Big free throws here. First one is good. Jones now with 20 points in this one. The big left-hander from the University of Kentucky with 21. He makes it a 2-point game.
And this is basketball. We knew this was going to be a grind to the end. Nobody expected this to be a 20-point game. So let's go down to the wire. We love it.
Amigo was kind of in between there. Now here's Earl Clark in the bucket and one. He ties the game, and now he can give Fajardo the lead. The big fella with the assist moments ago, this time he just takes it down the lane himself and draws the foul.
Yeah, Gabriel Belardo tried to hold Clark there, but just too much strength from Clark. And again, this is an 8-0 run from Fajardo. He can make it a 9-0 run here, and it is a completely new ball game from what we just had 2 minutes ago.
Now, like you said, you talked about that next 3 minutes more from an Humacao perspective, but it's Fajardo that's clawed back into this one to take the 1-point lead here. From the corner, it's no good. Under 5 minutes to go now.
You might want to trap Terrence Jones here if you start going towards the hoop. Yeah, and that's an off the ball foul. They do lead. They got Nathaniel Butt like he's been doing all game, fighting position against Clark. And Humacao right now in the bonus, so Fajardo is going to shoot free throws throughout the fourth quarter.
Earl Clark was pretty unsteady at the line early in this game, but he's started to drop him here when it counts.
Yeah, and that's why you bring him in. You bring in players that can do exactly that, that can try to close out games for you.
It is live at the line, and it's a 3-point lead now for Fajardo. An 11-point turnaround. Matos shot blocked. And now a travel call. Camper wanted a foul, but he gets the travel call instead.
Yeah, so good job there by Belardo in challenging the transition, and Camper was not able to put the ball down on the ground before he took the steps.
And a bucket there for Matos.
Big three-pointer they're absolutely needed. They've been on a scoring drought here the last couple of minutes, so a big one with 4 minutes to go, a tie ball game.
That's his third three of the game. He's now in double digits with 11. Clark with some muscle work inside. He's got 16.
Just a veteran play, under control, knew exactly what he was, and beautiful finish with his left.
Fajardo trying to get it to Amigo, but broken up and taken away. Fajardo up 2. Clark from way outside. Oh, Clark with just his 15th three of the year.
A discipline here if you're Humacao. A lot of time still left in this game.
5-point lead after the big fella drains the three, and now a whistle inside. We'll go against the visitors.
So if you're Humacao League, keep your composure, okay? There's a lot of stuff here to happen still. Don't try to play hero ball. Play within your system. and find the open shot, the one that has the higher percentage shot, and start chipping back into this game.
It's been a game of runs. Humacao looking to turn things around here and make one of their own in the last 3:01. Foul on Alex Abreu.
Yeah, Abreu that time, just too much contact with both of his hands in, that was Pacheco, I believe. Or, yeah, but Pacheco was. His two hands, Abreu with the two hands, you can't do that.
Under 3 minutes to go now. Humacao down 5. Pacheco shot blocked. Here comes Camper the other way. Fajardo looking for their first win in the month of May. Clark again from outside. That one's off the mark with the long rebound. Abreu into the lane, the tough bucket over Amigo, and he scores to make it a 7-point lead for the visitors.
Tough play, able to keep his balance after the contact. Great concentration, and threw the ball off the glass to put Fajardo here, like you said, up by 5 with 2:41 to go. So Humacao out, not in a little bit of a hole yet, but they do need to remain disciplined and see if they can get some buckets here and try to come out with the win.
Fajardo has really come on strong here in the fourth quarter, outscoring Humacao at our count 23-10. So reminiscent of the fourth quarter run by Humacao in their win over Fajardo 5 days ago.
Yep, that's absolutely right. Getting a little bit of their poison, and what happens is there's just too much to handle with Clark, with Terrence Jones, with Allende. Those three guys have been playing great throughout the whole game, but especially here in the fourth quarter. And 23 points in just over 7 minutes is just too much to give up at this point. And 10 points as well scored is a little bit of a concern. But again, 2:19 to go. Keep your concentration, score a bucket, get a stop, and go from there.
Jones and Clark looking very much like number 1 NBA draft picks. Clark with 19, Jones with 21.
Let's see where Coach Pedro goes here off the timeout. Obviously, Gabriel Belardo not having a great game with the 3-4-11. So let's see if they go to either Matos or Pacheco, who have had the hot hand for them in the second half.
Humacao, their backs against the wall here at home. 2 minutes to go, down 7. It would be their first home loss of the year. Amigo, a tough shot at the shot clock buzzer. He just had to throw it up there.
Yeah, and we spoke about getting a good shot off the timeout. I'm sure Coach Pedro Gonzalez is not satisfied with that one.
.150 to play. Humacao almost has to have a stop here.
Don't foul.
Camper almost couldn't get up. And there is a foul as Jones got a shot away. And he'll go back to the line.
That's exactly what you don't want to do, Lee. You know, with a minute 30 to go, you got to get a stop. You play 23.5 seconds of good defense and just bail out the offensive player with the reach in there in the last second.
And it'll be Humacao ball after the miss by Jones. He's got 22 now.
And a lot of people might think that this press is trying to get a steal. Rather, they're just trying to slow the game down and not let Humacao speed it up.
Pacheco from the free throw line. Amigo the follow. Big bucket for Daniel Amigo. He's got 12.
Stay disciplined, play good defense, don't foul, get a rebound.
Oh, and Fajardo with the unforced error there as they throw it away. Unfortunate turnover for them. Minute 5. Tough defense. Gallardo recovers the ball at half court. Under a minute now. Tough shot in the lane by Gallardo. Gets his own rebound, and he'll go to the line.
Yeah, I think he was going up as well. As soon as he gathered himself, both hands going up, Terrence Jones reached him. So even though he didn't have a shooting motion, I thought he was going up. You see, right there as he caught it, boom. Yep, he should be heading to the line.
Yeah, I guess I was a little quick to give him those free throws, but he is at the line.
Oh, great read, Reed. That's right. And they need, these are two big ones here.
No doubt about it. A couple of points here with the clock stopped. Gallardo not in double digits now with 11. Four-point game with 50 seconds to play.
They need 2 good stops.
Gallardo breaks the press.
Match up.
Clark with it. 8 on the shot clock. Jones into the lane. He'll be headed back to the line.
Yeah, it seems like Gabriel Gallardo there. Let's double check here, Lee, but it seems that it was on a reach in. Once again, yep, bailout foul here for Fajardo on such an important defensive possession.
Jones 7 of 11 at the line tonight. He's got 23. It's a 5-point game. And the tough bucket there for Parker.
And they got a foul.
They can't get it. They wanted one. They couldn't get it. And now Amigo finally comes up with the foul.
Well, I actually think that Amigo had good vertical position. He was just standing still. So it was an off-balance play. It was a turnover in Fajardo. So great defense by Amigo, just not reaching, just holding his position like we teach it. Put your foot on the line and stay there. That's exactly what he did. So interested to see what Fajardo might do. Do you go for a 3 right away, or do you go for a quick 2 and a foul after? Let's see what Coach Pedro draws. And on the other hand, Alan Colon, he might change it up to not allow a man-to-man defense and get, because, you know, you practice against a man-to-man defense the majority of the time. That's where the majority of your plays go, especially in the end of the game. Let's see what Alan Colon does here on the defensive end, as we are definitely looking for Humacao to try to get a bucket here and tie this game up.
The game's at been so interesting to watch these two coaches adjust tonight in quite a battle where neither team has really shown great things offensively, but credit to the defenses as well.
Yeah, a lot of the times we say if you're up by 3, do you want to foul and not allow the other team to shoot a 3? And we saw their coach Colon in the timeout kind of gesturing as soon as they go towards the basket, foul. We do have a foul to give. Let's see what Fajardo does once Humacao starts his action.
Big night for Terrence Jones. 23 points to lead all scorers. Fajardo looking to hang on here on the road. .4 seconds to play.
And they also bring in number 10. And that's Rivera Rosario, who's also a three-point shooter.
Fajardo with it. Steps back. Shoots the 3. Rattles out. Rebound Fajardo, and they will go to the line.
Got a good look there. Went to his right. The defensive player kept up with him, so he stopped in his break with the behind the back and got a wide open look, actually. Good look. Just a little bit short, unfortunately.
It was an impressive move to drive and then step back like that and get a good look off, which he did. Jones looking to ice things here. Misses the second. Big shot at the buzzer, and Fajardo comes up with what I would think would be an upset win on the road over Humacao, the team they lost to just 5 days ago, holding Humacao to just 74 points when they've averaged 9 this season.
What a roller coaster game it was, Lee. We've had all kinds of runs and all kinds of lead changes, especially between quarters. We saw that great third quarter from Humacao, able to adjust things at a halftime and put themselves up by 8 with 6:41 to go. But after the timeout call by Fajardo, they made the defensive adjustments and just were able to execute in the end, and especially with the big guys there of Terrence Jones and Earl Clark, those two guys down in the fourth quarter were just a little bit too much to handle on a bit of an off night here for Humacao. But nothing to hang your heads in. It's a big season. It's only been their first home loss. It's fine. Come to practice tomorrow. Work on things that you need to get better at. And the next game, come back, go get a win, and get yourself right back into it.
So after losing 5 days ago to Humacao by 6, and Humacao going on a 27-15 run in the fourth, Fajardo turns the tables and goes on a 26-14 run in the fourth quarter of this one and wins it on the road 78-74. That's the crazy thing about sports, Victor. You can't play them on paper.
That's right. And once again, you can't play them on paper. You got to execute. And Fajardo, in this case, did execute. They were more consistent throughout the entire game than Humacao. Humacao had a few moments. They had a few spurts, but not their greatest game. Anyhow, nothing lost. 32-game season. Even though it was a head-to-head game, you can get plenty of wins going forward. So don't hang your head. And you see, once you start going into second unit and start getting rotation, especially now where guys are banged up a little, we saw several guys out today. They definitely missed secondary and third scorers. in Jordan Swing is one of them. So don't hang your head, get to work, and improve on things that you got to improve on, and go get yourself a win in the next game.
So Fajardo goes to 7-7, Humacao dropping to 5-6 on the season. Now has lost 3 of their last 4. So they will be looking to turn it around coming up this Wednesday.
As we see a couple of highlights there.
Here.
Absolutely, Lee. It was just a bit too much. Humacao didn't have, you see Gabriel Belardo right from the go, one of their main scorers, didn't have much going. Not a lot of threes for Humacao. As we said, they've only had 4 3-pointers tonight. That's definitely not going to get it done at this level. So don't hang your heads. Get to work. Get to practice early on and get right back to it.
Terrence Jones, the leading scorer in this one, he had 24 points to go along with 12 rebounds, so a double-double for Terrence Jones. Earl Clark had 19. Allende with 15. Those were the double-figure scorers for Fajardo. On the other side for Humacao, Pacheco with 12, Bayardo with 11, Parker with 12, Matos with 11, Amigo with 12. So balanced, but just not enough scoring tonight, Victor.
Not enough scoring tonight from Humacao on their side. And on the other hand, like you mentioned, Terrence Jones and Earl Clark, there's too much to handle. Both combined with the 24 and 19 points respectively. So not enough firepower. But don't hang your heads. Get back to it like we said, and get the next one.
All right, they're back at it. Coming up on the 16th. Just a couple of days, so not a lot of time to concern yourself with it, as you mentioned, Victor. Victor, thank you so much. Victor Mansour, Lee Hall with you here tonight as Fajardo wins it on the road, 78-74. Thank you, Victor. Have a good night.
Ahora se puede con un préstamo personal de la Cooperativa Oriental. Ponte al día con tus metas financieras con un cómodo pago mensual que tienes hasta 90 días para hacer el primer pago. Llama al 787-418-2021. Cooperativa de Ahorro y Crédito Oriental, la alternativa de todo un pueblo.